Just looking through my questions here.
I probably need to wrap in the next 10 if we can.
Do you mean like wrap it up or just like beatboxing?
Both?
All right, go for it. Floor's all yours.
In the next 10 minutes, probably.
Okay, yeah, all good, man. A lot of your songs are acronyms like SOTS, MHS, and like you mentioned before, PS. Do they mean anything specifically to you, or are they sort of an acronym that is part of the song, or is it sort of like something that you need to have your own meaning for? It's like you're not going to give the answer, the people listening have to, have their own vision of it.
I have always believed that you have to have some secrets. You have to have inner band jokes.
Yeah.
You have to have things the public doesn't know about. In this way, being in a band is like being in a marriage.
Yeah.
It's the things that only those people share that make that thing so special, right?
Yeah.
Well, the nature of a band is different from the nature of a marriage because most of what you do is public.
Yeah.
Versus when you're married, most of your existence is out of the public eye, right? Or at least most of the things that define your relationship. And so I've always been a believer as well in the idea of mystery. If you can create some sort of intrigue in the audience on multiple levels and leave them wanting a little bit more of something, then there's a greater chance that they will keep coming back.
Yeah.
And so that is just one little finger of mystery that I like. And there's a sense of humor behind it because there's enough of those types of songs on our catalog that when I write a song and I give it the acronym title, I know that there is a certain segment of our fans that will go, another one.
Yeah.
What does that one mean?
Yep. I'm one of those people.
And everybody, and it's fun for me to just once in a while post on Twitter, what do you think SOTS stands for?
Yeah.
I'll probably do that today. Post those on Twitter.
Yeah.
And name a few of the song titles and go, what do these songs stand for? And just hear people's theories.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well,
fan theories.
MHS is like probably my favorite song on Sheep Among Wolves, and it absolutely kills me that I don't actually know what the proper title of it is. So thank you for making such a good song. But yeah, I don't like you for making an acronym because I don't know what it means.
It's fun. I love doing that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad there's enough people that get bothered by it.
Yeah. I mean, you seem like a really nice guy, but it's just little things like that really question that.
No one is all nice guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone has multiple sides to their persona and their personality.
Yeah.
And I love that. I just think that's funny.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. As a part of the podcast, you will actually learn all these acronyms.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
You will.
I'll look forward to that then.
You will get the actual meanings.
Sweet.
As an executive producer of the podcast. You get to go behind the velvet rope. So
yeah, as you
hopefully once you get the answers to all of your questions, you'll still support me.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it's not just something like really awful that I don't like. Yeah, hopefully it's not like, oh, I thought it was something different. Oh, well, unsubscribe. So yeah, before you mentioned sort of trying to keep that mystery and, not giving away too much, has that become easier or harder to do from when you started or like when you were sort of in the early stages of the albums rather than now? Has it sort of gotten easier to keep those secrets or has it sort of gotten more difficult to do?
More difficult, definitely. It has to be an intentional thing like that where, hey, we're going to throw this out there, but we're not going to tell you what this means.
Yeah.
That type of thing. In the earlier days of the band, I was a big believer in creating questions around just me personally, because I didn't want to give a lot away. I wanted the music and the lyrics to be the thing that spoke, not me. And so I would intentionally not say much from stage. I would intentionally try to light the stage so I wasn't just this big shining thing. You know what I mean? The way we presented the artwork, there was always a veil, like the visual, elements of the band. I always try to not give too much away, but I find that the further I go, that because engagement is such a part of keeping people interested, that you have to drop the veil in certain forms. It just doesn't work the same way anymore. And so I'm finding that now it's really about depth. It's really about, okay, so I'm a human being, and your relationship to the music really is more about the relationship that we have together, and more about the depth and the story and the riches of the truths behind everything that I'm trying to do. And I feel like the more I lean on that, the heart behind things, and allow people to see my heart inside of it, there's a new sort of magic that happens that can't happen when so much is a mystery. So it's good and bad. Well,
like everything nowadays, the best part of it is also the worst part of it. So it's sort of, as much as you want to keep the mystery and not sort of ruin the song for somebody by giving your perception of it, it's sort of also hard because nowadays you kind of need to give that little bit of a sort of teaser as to what it is, just so there's something to keep the fans happy with the backstory of the song.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay, right. So as sort of someone, or as sort of a band that is, I don't want to say sort of the last, or like one of the last heavy metal bands, but there are sort of more pop singers and sort of like different genres out there nowadays. Is there somebody of a different genre of yours that you would like to do a collaboration with, either on the Pioneers podcast or sort of a musical collaboration with?
As far as guests for the Pioneers podcast, there are so many. I have a list of about 100 dream guests, and I may not be able to get all of them.
Dave Chappelle.
But Dave Chappelle would be a dream guest, for sure. Will he ever come on the podcast? It's unlikely.
Don't say that.
Unlikely. Even if we were like top 10 podcasts in the world, it might be a challenge. Maybe not then, but I would say I would be able to start landing some of my dream guests if, in the arts category in the U.S., the podcast reached the top 20. I know this is a side note.
That's all right.
Fast, but I'm thinking about it. So what would it take to land some of these people? I would say if we were in the top 20 in the arts category, we're number 71. I think it dips between number 90 and number 70 this week. We're number 71 in the arts category in podcasts. So that's not out of the realm.
It's not that far away.
We need a lot more people to tune in. But I need to keep working it and find ways to get those people to tune in, and maybe that's possible. Maybe that's just a matter of continuing to bring on great guests that I can reach. But let me pull up my list here. I have a list of guests for the podcast. There's so many. Some of these I've landed. Some of these are within reach. Some of these are just outside of reach. Some of these I may decide not to have on. Some of these are friends that I've lost touch with.
Oh, really?
Some are just dream guests. So let me see some of these that you might know. Brian Head Welch. Plays guitar for Korn. Friend. Haven't spoken to him in a while. He's back with Korn.
Cool.
Don't know if I can get in touch with them or not. Probably will be able to. I put him down. I put the rapper NF.
Not sure
I like his music. I put Jacob Bannon, who's the singer for Converge. He's also a visual artist.
Cool.
I put Dan Mumford, who's a visual artist in London. He did our album layout for Knives of the Future, but he has since blown up. And he does stuff for Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
All kinds of things. He's gigantic. So it would be cool to. He's not a close friend, but it would be cool to get him on.
Yeah.
The podcast.
Especially a graphic designer, like you've had sort of musical guests, but that's sort of such a completely different art form, so that'd be awesome. I
have a whole list of TV and film actors that would be dream guests, comedians that would be dream guests, music producers that would be dream guests. All of them are names that people would know that I'm not close to personally.
Yeah.
But if the podcast gets enough traction, I'll bring them on.
Yeah.
But you mentioned like musical collaborators.
Yeah. Like a song or like a song with a modern musician of today.
A vocalist that I really dig that probably wouldn't come on, but I really love their voices. Some of these guys I don't even know their names, regrettably, but the singer for Meshuggah, I've always loved Meshuggah. I don't even know his name.
Neither do I.
but that would be super cool. I've always loved Chino Moreno from Deftones. He's been on Friends albums. I've never had him on one of mine. Guys that are buddies of mine that I really love and have never done a song with that I would love to have on. Corey Brandon from Norma Jean. He was a guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
I could probably twist his arm into doing a song with me in some form. Ryan Clark from Demon Hunter. I've never worked with him.
That'd be good.
Could also probably manipulate him into coming on to do something with me. Maybe. These are guys in the heavy music realm. Dream collaborations. Dave Grohl would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be the top.
Annie Clark would be very cool. Her band is called St. Vincent.
I might have heard of
believe
them.
she's a Grammy winner, or a Grammy nominee at least. Her band is really cool. Has nothing to do what I do with what I do musically.
Yeah.
It's totally different. It's very weird music, but I love her voice. I love her songwriting. I love the tones that she gets on her records. Annie Clark would be someone that would be a dream collaborator. She's just amazing. Yeah.
Are you aware or friends with anyone from either Thousand Foot Crutch or Skillet? Because they're sort of other Christian rock and Christian metal bands.
I know all of those guys. I have never gravitated towards working with them for whatever reason, but I know all of them personally in some form.
Cool.
The TFK guys a little bit better. I've met the Skillet guys here and there. We've crossed paths probably 100 times.
Yeah.
But I can't say I've ever sat down and had a conversation with any of them.
Yeah. So Trevor McNeven from Thousand Foot Crutch, is that a possibility, or can I add my suggestion onto that as a podcast
guest? You can definitely suggest, and I know him personally, and I won't say no. I would say that there are probably, I'm tending to gravitate towards guys I follow. Follow their work. I'm starting there at least, but as it grows, that will evolve.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I recently, Skillet recently came to Australia, and they did a meet and greet, and I went to that, and I sort of had a quick conversation to all of them of Skillet, and just sort of told the bass player, or the lead singer / bass player, that he is sort of one of the main inspirations that I decided to play bass. Not only is he one of the big inspirations of me playing bass, but also Stephen Dale of Project 86. So, not only is John Cooper of Skillet also one of my main inspirations for playing bass, but also, you guys of Project 86. So the intro riff to A Fruitless Endeavor is the main riff that I wanted to play when trying to learn bass. Still can't play it. I've been trying to play it for a year now, and it's damn difficult. So if you're still sort of in touch with Stephen Dale, he is one hell of a bass player, so that is such a hard riff to play. Just sort of a quick question of A Fruitless Endeavor. Why is it called A Fruitless and Ever of two separate words? Because that's something that's also kind of bugged me.
That's a literary device, I guess you would say, that I tried to use either in lyrics or in naming songs. taking a familiar phrase and putting a twist on it.
Yeah.
So as to assign a different meaning to it.
Yeah. Yeah, much like MHS, that's one of my favorite Project 86 songs, but it kills me because it's that slight bit off, and I don't know why. So thank you for giving your answer.
It's the idea that when you say a fruitless endeavor, you're referring to something that you're currently doing.
Yeah.
And ever. Means forever, over.
Yeah.
So this fruitless endeavor is now over.
Yeah. Wow. It's good. It's just that slight bit off, but it completely changes the whole meaning of it.
Well, Kyle, man, I am going to have to jump,
yeah.
And I appreciate you so much for a number of reasons, and this will not be the last time that we speak.
Sweet.
And more than likely we'll speak on messages.
Yeah.
On a weekly, if not daily basis moving forward.
Cool.
It really just depends on you, man. If you choose to respond to everything that I post, we will talk every day.
Cool.
Or if you choose to send me messages on Patreon, we will talk every day.
Cool.
But otherwise, we will be in touch consistently.
Awesome.
And, for those of you that are tuning in and don't know anything about the band, who aren't fans of the band or don't care about the band, check out Pioneers Podcast, Finding Your Creative Voice, wherever podcasts are listened to in your world. And check it out if you like what you hear. You can also check out our Patreon. Same name for the podcast. Just go to patreon.com and check it out if you want to support the podcast.
Yeah.
You could subscribe, and I've gone out of my way to try to make it the most valuable subscription in the podcast universe. Yeah. And give us a rating on iTunes or on Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating and a review.
Cool.
And so those are my shameless plugs for the day, and I want to say thanks to Kyle Evans for being such a vehement Andrew Schwab and Project 86 and Pioneers supporter.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for doing what you're doing and continue doing it. So I can agree with you. The podcast is 100% worth the subscription. It's really good to see sort of, even if you're not a fan of Project 86, it's really good to see sort of an insight as to what you do when you get into a writing block. Just sort of general touring stories. Recording stories, it's all worth it. So I'll definitely put some links into, your Instagram, your, the Patreon page. I'll definitely just sort of put links all over the place to, get you the recognition that you guys definitely deserve. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this, man. I know it took a little bit out of your day, but, thanks for being a part of it.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. We'll be in touch, Kyle, okay? And thanks again.
Yeah, no worries, mate. See you later.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.